Hey, Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
And I'm 860 Cologne.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Coming at you again with another review, this time with guest host 860 Cologne. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. For those of you who are subscribers to my channel, you may recognize him. I did a video with him briefly. I met him in Boston. We just had like a get-together that day, and we did a funny video because you're an opera singer and you travel around the country. So it was really good seeing you then, and it's really good having you on as a guest. So thank you for coming on.
Pleasure to be here.
And today we are reviewing Tom Ford Noir Extreme. So date introduced is 2015, just this year as of this recording. It's classified as an Oriental Woody. Notes are Kulfi Accord, Vanilla, Amber, Saffron, Sandalwood, Mandarin, Rose, Jasmine, Neroli, Orange Blossom, Cardamom, and Nutmeg. Now, Jason, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
I get really good longevity. I would dare say beast mode. We're talking like 12 hours the last time I wore this. And before that, it was pretty good as well.
I would say on me, it almost goes into beast mode. It's really excellent on me. And every time I wear it, I get, consistently 10 hours, maybe more. There's a lot of heavy notes in here, so obviously it's going to last a long time for that reason. But really, really like it. What about projection?
Projection was where I don't want to say disappointed, because the projection is actually average. It's decent. It's good projection. But I just wanted something a little bit more to match with the longevity. Although I could get people that were really smelling me, nice little trail sillage, whatever, they could get that. I kind of wanted to share it more in my nose as well without having to hunt for it after about 6 hours or so. But it's still good, but I just wanted a little bit more with the name Extreme in there, especially.
Yeah, I can understand. I totally understand what you're saying. I got in the average range for projection as well, but you're right. This is an extreme fragrance, so you kind of have a preconceived idea of what that means going in. But overall, I wasn't terribly disappointed with an average projection. But season, I would say this is great for fall, great for winter, and I think it would still work for spring in the nighttime. And I think this is mostly a nighttime scent.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think you could do probably a spring or summer night, dressed up, nice cool night, and that may be where the decent average projection will do you well, as opposed to vaporing people out or whatever. So, but yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a real nice fragrance in fall and winter.
Purpose, I would say this is great for a date, for romantic situations. I would say this is really good for formal, and I can see this for casual use, especially in the cooler months. So, Jason, what does this remind you of?
What I get out of the bottle is not so much of the Tom Ford Noir. It's there, but without that dark, what I get a dark vetiver bite, almost like, I kind of consider Tom Ford Noir to be like Black Orchid Light for me, just in that vetiver sense. But the thing that got me the most when I first put this on was it reminded me of Sahara Noir. It's got a backbone of that, like, I don't see incense in there. I see some like resins and things like that, but it gives me a little bit of a Sahara Noir vibe to it.
That would not surprise me, coming from the same house, if they have somewhat of a similarity.
And I've heard people tell me that just like there's the Guerlain like core scent that is in a lot of different fragrances, like the Guerlain Homme, and I just picked up L'Homme Idéal, and it seems like the L'Homme Idéal is just the Guerlain Homme with a nice toasted almond in there. So it's kind of like, they have that same core to a lot of their fragrances in their lines. And some people have said the same thing about Tom Ford, and I can kind of see that in some fragrances. I'd say it's probably more in the signature collection rather than the high-end stuff. Because have you tried Tom Ford Extreme?
Yes.
Okay, and I get there's a story there, I guess. I get a little bit of the extreme in this one as well, in the Noir extreme. So I can see some correlation with the signature line, maybe.
Now, one thing that I think is really funny about this is, this is so different from the original Tom Ford Noir.
Okay, good. We're there.
The EDP
We're together.
version. Yeah. And the EDP version, because they have an EDP version and they have an EDT version, and those are different as well.
Right.
But the EDP version, Tom Ford Noir, definitely has some people that really love that fragrance. I'm not one of those people. I do not like Tom Ford Noir because it's a really animalic, woody scent. What I think is funny, though, is that this is so different, but this is not extreme. The first one was extreme. The first one was very, very extreme. And so I really want to know what the perfumers mean when they say extreme, because I think that we as reviewers or as the audience we have a different definition of what extreme means than they do. Yes, exactly. I think we have different expectations.
Yeah.
So when we hear extreme, I hear it's going to be either rougher, or it's going to be bolder, or it's going to last longer. 9 out of 10 times when they make an extreme version, it's none of those things.
No, not at
So
all.
they must have a different definition of extreme than we do. And I don't mean that as a critique, but there's something that is not communicating to us.
Yeah, I would love to know what the secret language of perfumers or perfume houses is for extreme, intense. In general, it's just a name, and we expect many things, and luckily with this one, I can forgive it.
Stephen from Redolescence had a really great review of this. I'll try to have a link down below to his review of that. He said it reminded him a lot of the Kulfi dessert. It's apparently an Indian dessert. I've never had that, so I can't say from personal experience if that reminds me of that. But I understand what he's saying here, because this is a very sweet, silky smooth, creamy fragrance with a lot of warm spice and an amber base. There's definitely cardamom there. There's definitely nutmeg there. There's definitely amber and vanilla there.
I don't have many Kulfi shops in Ohio here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you probably have more than we do in Mobile.
Thick, milky creamy ice cream. Sounds good to me, I'll try some.
Yeah, I really like this scent. I think this is very accessible. I think it's very likable. I think it's very masculine, but it's still modern. One reference I actually get with this is it reminds me of a grown-up La Nuit, La Nuit de l'Homme.
Oh.
And it's probably just because of the cardamom in there, because there's a lot of cardamom in this. And La Nuit has a lot of cardamom as well. They're not clones, obviously, but there's a connection there.
To me, La Nuit de l'Homme and like Armani Code, they have a powdery background to them. And I get what I call a powdery, scent from this one, but I kind of like that. But it has a nice background of whatever that is in there for me. And I was wondering, so you consider this to be pretty masculine?
Yeah, I do.
I could see it being, very unisex.
Okay.
Might be, she might be pretty bold, but I think a girl can get away with this no problem.
I can see that. I guess that I think a lot of men will probably like this more than women, but I can see see women wearing this and liking it too. But you're right. I think there'd have to be a bolder type of woman. I think this is a really well blended fragrance. It really is a Tom Ford quality fragrance. Tom Ford always puts out fragrances that are high quality, that are superb, that are made really well. I think this is one of those fragrances. But at the same time, I think this is a general people pleaser, unlike the original Tom Ford Noir, which I think was not. I think that was very polarizing. Yeah.
I'm with you there.
So Jason, did you get many compliments when you wore this?
Not strangers or anything like that. I wore this to rehearsal in Boston. I did get a few compliments on this one. But like my friend here in town, he's crazy about fragrances as I am. He really liked this one. He really liked this
cool.
one. We were shopping and he was like standing behind me. He's like, oh my God, I'm getting, wafts of that. It's amazing. So he really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. I do think this is an amazing fragrance. My wife actually really liked this one. And that actually surprised me because it does have a strong vanilla ambery scent to it. And she could pick up on the vanilla. It's not a vanilla scent, but you can definitely tell there's some vanilla in the mix.
I was wondering what she would say about this. I'm kind of surprised she liked this one.
Yeah, I am too. I didn't really get many comments outside of her. Maybe because they didn't smell it. Maybe it's just because the projection was on the average range. Maybe because it was more of a people pleaser and it wasn't super bold. I think generally, if I would have asked people, I think they would have said it was nice. So bang for buck, this is $140 for 100 ml. On the high side for a designer type fragrance. It hasn't hit the online retailers yet. And when it does, I think the price will drop down a good bit. I think if you like it, or if you're on the fence, maybe wait a little bit, maybe wait a couple of months before you take the plunge. Overall, I think it's a great fragrance. I mean, I think it's worth it. It's just on the high side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, $100 for a 50 mil, that's a little bit ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I would want the projection to be much better than just average. I mean, it's a great fragrance, and I probably will end up buying this with the discount, and but I'll probably be splitting that puppy out between my friends here in town because it's a little bit much.
Yeah. So Jason, final rating, what do you give this?
I'm going to give this 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I really grew to like this one. I got to this one after a long day of sniffing stuff, and I was basically covered. So I had one spot left, so I just put one or two quick little spritzes on it, and that's when I wasn't too impressed. Then when I got a hold of a decant of it, that's where I really started to like this one. There's some of those fragrances where 1 or 2 sprays will be okay, and then for some reason, psychosomatically, I don't know what it is, but 2,500 sprays is really where the key is. I don't know, but
So the key is to overspray on this one.
yes, always.
I'm also going to give this a 4 out of 5. I really like this fragrance. It is in the safer realm for scents, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think 5s to me are the ones that blow me away. This didn't blow me away, but it is a fantastic scent. I really like it. It reminds me of of a grown-up La Nuit in some ways. It has some very sweet notes, very modern and masculine to me anyway. And I just really like it. It's just a really pleasant night out scent.
Yeah, I like the grown-up La Nuit comment there. I think that really nails it on the head. And also, I don't see many high school kids wearing this one. This is going to be like college grad and up.
Yeah.
Probably my age and up.
It's for the men.
Men. Manly men. Extreme men.
That's right.
I'm an extreme man.
That's right.
What the hell does that mean?
So that's all we got for Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know down in the comments down below. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. And of course, I'll have 860 Cologne. Jason, I'll have his channel down below, and you can check him out. Thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate having you on, Jason.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.
I wear plaid shirts. Extremely.